All right, in this video, I just want to show you me installing actually the fans that I chose to actually put in the box. Done some research on the size of the vents actually on the box. When I brought it, it did not give that information, so I had to do some research to actually find that information. And then I ordered some fans and put them in, and I had to choose if I wanted it 24 volts, 12 volts, or USB 5 volts. And I went with the 5 volts. I was thinking about 24 and see if it would actually work on the PoE. But after I thought about it, the way I would have to wire it with everything else in there, I'm like, nah, just put another plug in there and get a USB plug that you plug right in the wall. It's like 2 amps, and put a 3-way in there that would feed everything and just make it plain and simple. But the thing I had at the problem then was it's got some lint on here. I had to get something that has as much philosophy as possible, and the lower you go in watts and voltage, usually so does the philosophy of the airflow on the fan. But I found the highest that I can find that will fit perfectly in the box. The holes, the 4 holes on the fan match up perfectly with the 4 screws that holds the churral on the vents on the outside. I just had to get a little bit longer screws, and they lined up perfectly. I put the vent that's on the outside, I took out the 4 screws, put the fan and put 4 screws a little bit longer, and it's just lined up perfectly. I mean, as if it was made for it. And perhaps they made it for that size, but it just nowhere in the literature that came with it, where I purchased it on Amazon, no information of saying the diameter, how far the screws apart, what size fan, no, nothing went in it. So I got the box, done some measurements and figured it out, and I installed the fans. And this is putting 2 fans in the box. Is going to replace one of the boxes I have now because it's overheating, and I think this is going to be more efficient of getting the heat out of the box. Plus, this seems to be a more well-built box than the ones that I've used, which if this works, I'm probably going to go ahead and switch over all the boxes, because the fan that comes with it, it's been in there maybe 2 years and it's already messing up. One of the boxes, the door is actually warping. I actually had to put zip ties around it to hold it completely shut. It's actually, if you open up the door and like this, you can see it actually bows. So when you shut it, the top is actually like when it shuts to the box, it actually, the lid, the door is actually like this. So it's a gap at the on the very top of it, so it's not waterproof anymore. And there was a little bit of moisture in there that I saw that maybe start, why. Then I closed it and put a zip tie back on it, and I noticed the door was leaning, and I like, there's the gap, there's why right there. If it was on the bottom, warping and out the bottom, it wouldn't be so bad, but the top is the worst one to have because that's where the rain would be coming in. So if this works, in this box with a vent on that side and a vent on that side, with 2 fans in it, I'm going to switch them all out with the fans. And another reason why I went with USB, because I found a thermometer that I can put in there that I can plug in the power supply, then plug the fan in it, and it has 3 settings, I do believe, of different temperatures, like somewhere in the 70s, one in the 80s, and one in the 90s that I can set it on so it will turn on and off so it won't run 24/7. I couldn't find anything in 12 volts and 24 volts small form factor that I like to have to put in there. And the one I found for the 24 is basically almost, it's actually that size right there, even though that's not what that is, but that's basically about the size of the, and you plug in the USB on here and it has a cord coming out here and has USB, and this is not but roughly 2 inches, and that's about what the thermostat. And when I get it installed, you'll see it in the video. But here I am putting the fans actually in the box itself.